But don't you think on one level that the people on the street need to experience that?
I don't think it is a necessary experience for them to go through it either in their ordinary lives or, you see, to achieve your spiritual goals. We have been brainwashed to believe that denial and poverty is a necessary thing for us to reach and attain our spiritual goals. But unfortunately, we make a virtue of that poverty, but there is no special charm in leading that kind of a life. I am not for a moment suggesting that you should grab everything for yourself and keep it for yourself and then talk in terms of sharing. Sharing is one of the most absurd things we have come up with, and the fancy phrases like sharing is caring. Who are we to care for them? They have a right to have everything that is there on this planet. It is possible for everybody who is living in this world, on this planet, to survive without the aid of technical know-how and technology. If what they say is true, it is possible for 12 billion people to live on this planet. Why? Out of 5 billion or whatever is the number of people we have on this planet, there is starvation, there is misery. I can't understand. It does not mean that I will start an organization to demand, you see, those who have to share or give up, you see. I'm not for a moment asking anybody to give up anything. It is not in human nature. We are functioning in the field of thought, and thought in its very nature, in its birth, in its content, in its essence, and in its action is fascist, you see. So it is a protective mechanism. It is interested only in creating frontiers around you, and then you extend the frontiers around your family, your nation, and the whole world. That is how we have drawn these lines and separated ourselves from the rest of mankind and created divisions, you see, amongst the nations. And then we talk of the United Nations of the world. That's the biggest joke of the century. People may not like what I'm saying, but I have to say what I feel and what I think without fear or favor.
One of the things that a lot of people seem to be into these days, the new age kind of people, is finding out why they're here, why on the planet. Is there a reason why we're here?
Why do you want to find a cause? We are caught up in this cause and effect relationship. That's all that the thinking can do. So we are interested in finding out the cause of everything. So we want to know who created this universe. God created the universe, or some mysterious event in the scheme of things created this universe. It's not much of an importance, much of an interest to us. It doesn't matter what happened billions of years ago, what will happen after billions and billions of years ago. We leave that discussion to the theologians and also the scientists, who seem to be interested in finding out the cause of everything. But actually and factually, they are only interested in prestigious rewards and in Nobel Prizes. But what they find is of no interest, no importance to the common man, because all that the technology has done for us, the high tech has done to us, has not calculated to the well-being of the common man in the streets in the whole world. It helps only a limited percentage of people in this world. There are a group of scientists visited me in India who are doing a lot of research work. And they asked me a question. What we are doing will benefit only 2% of the people in this country. We have a guilt problem here. Why do you have a guilt problem? That's a living for you. You see, it's bound to affect only a 2% or even less number of people in this world. That's our living. Go ahead. Don't ask me that question. I am not here to advise you or to deal with the problem of your guilt. Why are you guilty? You are only interested in your livelihood, and all this talk of altruism is bosh and nonsense. I don't know, we started so. And
I keep thinking of more things to ask.
Yeah, go ahead. We have a limited time, 28 and a half minutes.
So I want to ask you about some more down-to-earth things.
Down-to-earth things?
Yeah.
For example?
Well, one of the things, I met someone the other day that had spent quite a lot of time with Krishnamurti.
You did?
I didn't. So I hadn't spent time with him, but I met someone that had.
Yes.
And I was, he said that Krishnamurti used to get angry. And in a way, I was quite surprised that he would get angry. And I wondered if
I don't know about Krishnamurti. I don't want to talk about him. He's dead, and he has been dead for 3 years. But what is wrong with anger?
It's the image that I had.
The image you have been brainwashed to believe that the so-called enlightened man should never get angry. But anger is an outburst of energy. You see, anything that happens within the framework of body cannot be false, cannot be wrong. So if we are brainwashed to believe by these religious people that it is bad for the body and that it is bad for your spiritual growth, they are kidding themselves and Christians. But anyway, what we are told and what we are made to believe, that anger is bad for the body and bad for your spiritual growth, is not really true. Because whatever happens here cannot be false. You see. So it is an outburst of tremendous energy. A given situation you find yourself in, and what is happening there around you is an outburst of energy. So you can't say that you see the waves, the high tides in the ocean, or something wrong, you see, for them, for the ocean, or for you. So it's something like that. But we are not actually dealing with anger there at all.
Okay.
What you are dealing with is not anger. Anger is not there anymore. Anger is either absorbed by the whole system or it is thrown out. I don't want to put it that way, because throwing out means throwing out of the system. The system or the functioning of the body has absorbed that outburst of anger. And what you are dealing with is not anger, but how to be free from anger. You see, the how to be free from anger is totally unrelated to anger. Anger is something which you cannot touch. You see, so it's something like a live wire. If you try to touch something living, the instrument that you are using to free yourself from anger is burnt. So it becomes part of that anger. So you have no way of separating yourself from anger and telling yourself that I'm an angry person, that I should be free from anger. So you are only interested in freeing yourself from anger next time when you get angry. But there is no guarantee that you see you will be free from anger next time. So you go on and on and on. So whatever you are doing to free yourself from anger is not really the anger you are dealing with, but how to be free from anger.
Yeah.
So how to be free from anger is something false. So that keeps you going on and on and on and on. I don't think you will ever be free from anger. Anybody who preaches against anger for whatever reason, you see, naturally an angry man is a problem to the society. He will destroy the society. Society is interested in status quo. It may talk of change, it may talk of revolution, it may talk of all kinds of things, but basically it is not interested in change. So are you. You are also not interested in change. You may talk in terms of bringing about a revolution, total revolution, radical revolution, and so on and so forth. But when the time comes for a change, you are not going to let those changes take place in you or in the world around you. This is not an interview, I am giving a talk. It's a joke to call this an interview.
So we talked about
Actually, I have nothing to say. It's highly presumptuous on my part to sit before these two cameras and allow myself to be interviewed by you. It's really a joke, you see. But anyway, the whole thing is a great big joke.
Maybe we can do a second interview where you interview me afterwards.
I don't know. See, I have nothing to say actually. It's highly presumptuous on my part to sit here and say, come on, let us talk things over. But I always use, and it's a very tiresome thing to repeat over and over again, I'm here like a puppet. And see, it's up to you, to get whatever you want to get out of puppet. You have to pull the strings. And whatever you are trying to produce is yours and it's not mine.